Hi. Is this working? It's been a while. I've done this. I don't remember. Well, it's me, Rogue Vegan, and I thought I'd go ahead. I'm trying to get this propped up right. Okay, give y'all an update. I don't really remember the last time I put a video up. So I apologize to all 2 of my followers. Hi guys, love you. And no, there's like 3 of you. Some of y'all are hidden, which is fine, I don't share who I subscribe to, you know, that's my business. I might change it, I don't know. Anywho, I don't remember exactly the last time I posted, how long it's been, or what I talked about. I know there are a lot of things I want to talk about. A lot of stuff has gone on. I don't know if you guys know, but I did get my Prince posters framed and put up there. I'll talk about those later. But yeah, I am in bed. It is like really late. 4 in the morning on March 17th of 2019. And so I'll start with the most recent stuff, because there are so many things I want to talk about and do, but I need to kind of sit down and I guess write it out so I don't get so distracted and I'm not all over the place like I usually am. And I've recorded a lot of stuff. I just never posted it. I just changed my mind. Most of you know I do have issues with anxiety and depression, and that kind of talked me out of it, and especially with a lot of things that have gone on in the past almost 40 years now. Yeah, I'll be 40 this year. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just gonna, most recent stuff. On February 22nd of this year, almost a month ago, I had a hysterectomy. I've had endometriosis forever. I started menstruating, got my first period during Christmas break of my 6th grade year. So I was pretty lucky. Most girls, I've heard a lot of embarrassing stories of what some young ladies go through. But for me, I woke up one morning over Christmas break, went to use the bathroom, and ta-da! Anyway, wasn't long after that the pain started, and it was bad. And at that age, people don't always take you seriously, and doctors don't want to give you prescription pain pills. And if you have anything that makes your cramps horrible, whether it's endometriosis or PMDD or whatever they're calling it now, whatever you may have that makes it horrible, you understand, especially if it started young. And I started my period average age, I guess. It wasn't anything weird. I wasn't too young, I wasn't too old, just right, whatever. Even though I was overweight, I wasn't obese or anything, but I was overweight enough, and don't want to talk about my childhood now. But anyway, not long after that, the pain started. While my periods were always regular, they were extremely heavy. I used to joke that I was lucky to get 1 good week out of the month, and I PMS the other 3, which was sort of true. We're talking like I'd get cold sweats. And I remember in 10th grade, my geometry teacher, who was great, said that if she didn't know better, she thought I was coming off of drugs because of how I was acting like I was going through withdrawals. And it was, I guess, the loss of iron, the loss of blood, the hormonal changes, whatever, all the horrible things it could do to your body. It did to mine. And she got one of the football guys that was in my class that was actually kind of cool with me, to walk me to the office. And you had to walk like up the hallway, like way, I know you can't see my arm, but like way up the hallway. That's the main office. But no, way back this way was the sign out office. So by the time we got to the main office, which was way up this way, I fell out. Yeah. He picked me up and put me on one of the couches, and they called my grandparents. Funny story, funny side note, it was my mom's parents were, when I say my family, I'm usually talking about my mom and my grandparents, because they were the ones that were around most. So when they called my grandparents had my mother's maiden name, because my granddaddy's last name. Not my last name. My last name is my father's last name. So they called them by my last name, my legal last name. They're like, no, this is, you know, like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. That happened a lot in high school, but anyway. And they picked me up and they took me home. And I've heard about people going to the hospital for this stuff more recently. And it's like, why didn't anyone take me to the hospital? No, my grandmother had endometriosis. She did. That's why, big reason why my mom was the only child. And when my grandmother was a little bit younger than me, she was in her late 30s, she had a hysterectomy. That would have been, let's see, so early 60s, the early 1960s. So it was a totally different procedure than what I had. I haven't looked up to see what her procedure was. She never really talked about it much. And as most of you know, she passed away in January of 2018, so I can't really ask her now. But in my early 30s, 5 or 6 years ago, I had the, I'm going to say it wrong. People say, yeah, that's the word, but I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. The laparoscopy, I've had problems with pronouncing words lately. I don't know what it is. Is the blonde getting to me? No, we don't make those jokes anymore. It's okay. I do think I know what's causing it, but we're not worrying about that right now. Anyway. They did exploratory surgery about 5 or 6 years ago, and they discovered, and the endometriosis was there. My gynecologist at the time, he was an older gentleman. He retired not soon after that, very soon after that, actually. It's a very traditional gentleman, and maybe endometriosis is why I never got pregnant, but also I was on birth control for a long time. It wasn't long after I turned 19, my birthday's in October, so the excuse me, the October of my first semester in college, is when I started on birth control, and I was on and off birth control actually up until a couple of years ago. I left a job where I had pretty good medical insurance, and my birth control pills were outrageous, but I noticed that my birth control pills had started not working really. I didn't get pregnant, but I was having more cramps and stuff, and I was deathly afraid of it getting as bad as it was, like back in high school and stuff. I missed a lot of school, even after being on the pill. I lost jobs, and I say I lost friends, but I know that if they were really my friend, they wouldn't have. But you lose relationships and you miss out on a lot of things because you don't get to build those relationships. So I do think I missed out. I lost friendships, I lost relationships, I lost opportunities. I lost a lot. So anyway, it started getting worse again because having the exploratory surgery, he removed most of it, most of the endometriosis. There was still some wrapped around one of my kidneys, that kind of thing. Anyway, so fast forward to recently, this past summer, I went to see a new gynecologist. I had seen one after my last one retired, but I only saw her a couple times, and while there was nothing wrong with her, something didn't quite feel right. She was more of an obstetrician than a gynecologist, and I was kind of at a point where I didn't want to have kids. I was done with that and kind of mourning that part of me. I do think, now that I look back on it, I do think the only reason I really wanted to have kids ever was because it's kind of what you're supposed to do, and I didn't really realize it. It was a subconscious thing. And also, it is natural as a species for us to have this, this primitive urge to breed. That's okay. I don't think I should have kids. I'm not in a committed relationship. I'm not financially stable. I knew if I had kids, I'd want to have a partner. And I don't. And if you know pretty much any of my exes, no. And they say, they're only in your life for 18 years because then your kid's an adult, blah, blah, blah. You don't have anything to do with them. A good parent, if they're in your kid's life, if the other parent's in your kid's life, then the other parent's going to be in your life too. Anyway. So birth control pills weren't really helping anymore anyway, and I went off of them, and for the first time in a while, I was okay. I was still not doing so groovy. I was still having symptoms. Basically, the first full day of my period, I'd sleep all day. My body would just give up. My body would say no. nope out of everything, and I'd sleep, and the cramps started coming back, the bad ones. And I'm talking about how, remember how I mentioned back in middle school when they don't give you pain pills? Even in high school, like early, middle, and high school, they don't give you pain pills for that. My mom would give me some pain pills. And my tolerance for pills is weird, and side effects are weird. Like, I'm the person that can't take NyQuil because it doesn't knock me out kind of stuff. But anyway, when I was that young, I would take antihistamines, ibuprofen, Benadryl to knock me out. Just something to knock me out because the pain would be so bad. And the cramps started coming back, and I use a tracker. Well, I am broke. I was able to get my Kohl's card. They extended my balance, my limit. So I was able to do a little bit for Christmas, and I've got myself this Fitbit, which is a special ruby band, which is, I thought, kind of funny because I'm not going to have a period anymore, and it's kind of that color. But anyway, I would track my period on it. Obviously, I don't anymore because I'm not going to have one, but it's going to be on here. What's on the app? I got to figure out how to get that off in there. But, my period stayed regular. The cramps started coming back bad. And then this past summer, I started the new gynecologist. Got my yearly checkup, which has been a couple years since I've done. Did have a bit of a cancer scare this summer, which I didn't talk about very much. I did reach out to a Facebook friend or two that had mentioned having some problems, either endometriosis or possible cancer scare and stuff. And I basically got told, F you. I don't think they watch these videos, and I don't really care if the ladies do or not. I'm not going to confront them and say, hey, I don't appreciate what you did, because I really don't care about them that much. I attempted a bonding friendship thing. I suck at making friends, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. So, so I saw the new gynecologist. This video is running long, sorry. And, I voiced my concerns about the cramps coming back and the pain getting bad and everything. And she's like, well, normally what we do, I wanted hysterectomy. I had said years ago that if I'm my mid-30s, I wasn't already planning to get pregnant or dating someone that we talked about having kids with, or already pregnant or whatever, that I would have a hysterectomy by the time I was 35. I decided that a long time ago. And I didn't, obviously. Like I said, I'm going to be 40 this year in October. So I obviously didn't get a hysterectomy back then because there was still that what if. And I do that too much. But anyway, when I had that good insurance, anyway, there's other stuff I'm thinking about that I don't really want to talk about that are popping into my head. So, anyway, she said, well, I mentioned wanting the hysterectomy. I know I have endometriosis. The pain's getting too bad. I'm not able to function as a person. I have other problems that are affecting things. I can't really work. I can't really do much. And I know a lot of it's aging, but I can't function as a human being. I don't feel like I'm being a good contributor to society. I want a hysterectomy. Take my uterus, please. And I say that a lot. Well, I used to. Can't anymore, because they did. Anyway, she said, well, normally what we do is we talk about different methods of birth control. She's like, I know you said you're on the pill. Have you tried? I'm like, nope. Have you tried? No. Have you tried? No. I'm not doing the shot. I'm not doing the implant. I'm not doing an IUD. I'm not doing it. The only thing that really helped was birth control pills. Really, that's the only thing I tried. But it helped, and I got to where I was taking the strongest birth control pill, the one where you only have like 4 periods a year, because it's basically like 3 months straight of pills instead of taking the placebos in between. And then you take like 3 months and then week of placebo pills. If you don't understand how birth control pills work, where they have the 1 week of placebo pills and 3 weeks of hormones, that's what they do. And the placebo pills are usually when you're on your period. So anywho, those pills, the three months placebo pills, 3 months placebo pills. So he had like 4 periods a year, because they're 12 months in a year. I think I'm doing that math right. If I'm not, I apologize. My brain's... Oh wow, 15 minutes already. Anywho, I was skipping those placebo pills still, and I had maybe 1 period a year, and I was still having the symptoms. Even though I was barely having any bleeding, I was still having the symptoms, like almost passing out at work, throwing up, and then I'd have panic attacks because I would be afraid of the pain. Because usually I had those symptoms with pain, with the extreme pain, so I didn't always notice them because the pain was so extreme and distracting for me from anything else, but also they'd follow each other. So I was scared. And I explained this to the new gynecologist this past summer, and she's like, all right, well, let's do it. Awesome. She didn't actually do the surgery. She doesn't do surgeries like that. I also had a cyst in a very uncomfortable lady place, and I don't remember the name of it. It's a gland, and it became a cyst. She did drain it once this summer, my gynecologist, but she said if it comes back, they'll need to do it like a surgery, and they ended up doing it when I had my hysterectomy. I think that was more painful than the hysterectomy. They did the laparoscopic whatever. I joked that when they did the first exploratory surgery that he used robots and lasers and went in there and went pew 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 to my endometriosis. Pew pew. I just like saying pew pew. And they kind of used the same thing to get rid of my uterus for the hysterectomy. I had said that, I said, you can take both of my ovaries. I don't care. I'm not worried about the hormonal thing. My hormones have been crazy my whole life. I actually wanted them gone. I wanted the whole thing gone to go ahead, and I'm going to start menopause soon anyway. My mom started when she was about 40, so so please, you know, but she ended up leaving both. I thought she was going to take at least one. She ended up leaving both. I'm not the happiest camper about that. But apparently there's something that goes on there to where not having your ovaries can cause a woman to have osteoporosis and heart disease. While heart disease does run in my family, heart issues, at least high blood pressure, high cholesterol, whatever. Grandmama had a heart attack when she was 48. You know, my mom always had high blood pressure, but I always had low blood pressure. I never had any problems. But anyway, I really left it up to her. She made the decision to leave, you know, both of them. They did take my cervix. Like I said, I had the cancer scare this summer. Cervical cancer scare this summer. So, they went ahead to the cervix. I don't need it anyway. And my uterus, of course, because that's where the endometriosis comes from. And my fallopian tubes, because I don't need those either. They don't do anything for you. And let me know, there were cysts around one of my fallopian tubes, which actually made a lot of sense because of some of the pain I was feeling. Whenever I would ovulate, whenever I wasn't on birth control, I could always feel it. I was always sensitive to it. Now, when they did the exploratory surgery 5 or 6 years ago, that they weren't there. So that also explains a lot of the pain I've been having and uncomfortableness and things that have been going on. Also, since I had 5 or 6 years ago, actually since just a couple of years ago, I got 50 pounds heavier because of the severe depression I went through a while ago, you know, you guys, and all the medication I was on and stuff. So that can change things too. But anyway, so it's been almost a month since I had my hysterectomy. I had a complication afterwards. I got an infection. It was really bad. My fever, I don't think I've ever had a fever that high. Maybe as a child, maybe. But I've always, even like my normal temperature is lower than usual. So for it to get 102 scared me. I got to 102 point something once. But anyway, I did make a trip back to the doctor for my first post-op, back on the 5th, I think it was. My mom took me because I wasn't driving yet. And I felt like I had a kidney infection, at least a UTI, something going on, which would be normal in that situation. They did it. I basically gave birth to my uterus and fallopian tubes and I birthed my uterus. There is now not one uterus in my home unless my mom visits or friends that still have theirs, because all my cats and my dog is everybody spayed and neutered up in this house, even me. So went to the first post-op, and they found out, you know, they tested my pee and everything, and my blood pressure was extremely low. Now, it's been low before, and I felt fine, but I felt bad. I wasn't drinking enough water, I wasn't eating anything. And you know how I know I wasn't drinking enough water, I wasn't eating anything? I almost passed out when we left. Went to check out to make the next appointment, and I sat in the chair. I said, "Oh, I get to sit in a chair. Let me sit in a chair." Sit in a chair. I'm like, "I need some water." I didn't say it that way. Long story short, I got some water. I said, "I can't stand up." If I stand up, I'm going to pass out. And that's happened to me, like I said, back in school, went on my period and stuff, and over the years, and I was mainly ignored. Basically told to shut up and get over it by a lot of people, and they took me seriously. I was embarrassed. I started almost crying. I was so embarrassed. They got the wheelchair, and in the office, in the back, they have recliners, and also people can do chemo. And they set me up there to give me fluids, and they took some more blood just to check me, just to be sure everything was fine. They gave me fluids and stuff. Took about another hour or so, and yeah, so that was scary. But I mean, I felt it before. It was a little embarrassing. Not scary. Embarrassing is the word. I'm obviously doing better because I'm recording this, and I've hit over 20 minutes. So, you know. I'm thirsty, but this tea, it's sweet tea in a mug, and no, it's not hot. Different kind of stevia than I would normally use. A sweet tea, I just want it with sugar right now. I don't have sugar for it. The stevia will work. Anyway, stevia is better for me anyhow. I'm very uncomfortable. I still hurt. I'm not going to show you the incisions or point out where it hurts. They did go, one of the incisions was in my belly button though. And they did, and I do feel this weird pain below it. A few days ago, I ended up, I'm not supposed to lift anything more than 5 pounds is what the doctor said, but the paperwork says 10 pounds. And she said, "Yeah, I know, but most people underestimate how much things weigh." And I said, "I know, I figured that. That's why the paperwork says that." And I picked up someone that was more than 10 pounds. And I felt something kind of pull. It is Saturday night, Sunday morning. And my mom wants to take me back to the doctor on Monday. I'll let her call the doctor, but I really don't want to go back because it's uncomfortable. I don't want to deal with it. I just want to sleep. My sleep schedule's totally crazy messed up. I actually felt better the first week than I have. Like, I feel, minus the infection, I feel like I feel worse. Until like now with me. Like at night I feel okay. It's not so bad. I'm tired. The sleep doesn't come very easily. So, but anyway, that's what's been going on with me, guys. Learned I don't really have that strong of a support system. And my mom's kind of old. She'll tell you. We don't look her age. We don't. But she looks like she, and most lights, she looks like she could be in her 40s. And I had a friend staying with me for a while who was 50 and crazy. I ain't gonna get into her, but my mom looks younger than her. And my mom's 68. So, but of course she thought she was a early 20-something life coach guru. Like, woman, embrace yourself, you know? But if you're ugly on the inside, you're gonna be ugly on the outside, and guess what? She is. Poor child. Poor child for her children. Anyway. So that's what's been going on with me recently. It's not a complete and total update. Shout out to my Under the Cherry Moon poster, my favorite movie. Of course, starring Prince. Should I do a video about those guys? About my Prince posters, the story of them and stuff. Some of you may remember the giant one I used to have on my wall. There's a story for it and everything. I'm not going into it. I just hit 25 minutes. I'm not talking about that right now. Why am I talking about other things? Y'all are quit distracting me. Oh, God. Anywho, that's what's been going on. I'm pretty exhausted now. I talked a lot. I usually keep to myself. My nails look terrible. My nails look terrible. Don't look at them. They're horrible. Ooh. Y'all on these videos are funny. Anyway, so that's what happened. My uterus is gone. Yay! I don't have to worry about that anymore. Once I heal, I have stuff I want to do. Maybe go back to school a little bit. Don't know what to do yet. There's a bit of an online course I kind of want to do. Ooh, my space heater cut off. I thought it cut off after 8 hours, and I can't believe I've been in bed 8 hours. I don't think I've been in bed 8 hours. Maybe it cuts off after 6. It's got a special mode. Anyway, I've been talking too long. So anyway, wanted to give you guys an update, and I'm just gonna go ahead and like post it now. I'm not gonna get fancy with hashtags or anything like that. I might put a few and try to think of a title. Take my uterus, please. They did. Good things happen when you say please sometimes. But if anyone's considering having a hysterectomy, make sure you have a good support system in place, like people you can very much depend on. And plan things. Maybe free some meals, you know, or have stuff like food prep and have it prepped as far in advance as you can, because they say it takes 6 weeks to heal, and they're not joking, man. They are not joking. All right. If you have human babies, fur babies, whatever, maybe have instructions right now. Go ahead and clean your house beforehand. See, the week before my surgery, I had the flu. I missed my first pre-op because of it. I thought they were going to cancel my surgery, and I was like, but they said I was fine. I had my pre-op on a Wednesday and then had surgery on Friday morning. So anyway, make sure you have a strong support system. They're not joking when they tell you 6 weeks and not to lift more than whatever poundage they tell you not to lift. Do the stuff to heal. Take the stool softener. Just do it. Just do it. Just you need it. My heat just turned off too. You need it. And plan ahead. Plan ahead. Oh, in between having the flu and the pre-op, I cleaned the crap out of my house. Litter box is perfect, everything. My support system hasn't been as strong as I hoped, and my litter boxes are bad again, and I just keep having to live through this, and anytime I depend on anyone else to do them, but it's hard for me to do them, especially when they get so bad, because I can only lift so much weight, blah, blah, blah. I can't pick up a bag of litter. I can barely do anything. And I'm sticking down to 5 pounds now after lifting the cat. That was more than 10 pounds, and felt something pull, and I've been sore ever since, and pain pills aren't cutting it, so that's why my mom wants me to go back to the doctor. But anyway, strong support system. Plan ahead. Take the meds they recommend for you to take. Do it. Plan ahead. Did I mention? Plan ahead. Meal plan. Write down instructions. Whatever you gotta do. And it's all gonna be cool. 6 weeks, man. It's almost been a month. I've only got a couple more weeks, right? I got some new job opportunities lined up. I mean, there's stuff going on. It's getting done. First step towards a new life for me. So, anyway, that's the update. That's all you're getting right now. I've got more to share with you later, and I still don't know how to do fancy editing and stuff. So, once again, as always, for the love of everything, go vegan. And, bye.